Welcome to Sunday Afternoon Porch Sittin, where laid-back conversations come to life. I'm Will.
And I'm Ryan, and we're inviting you to join us as we unwind and explore the essence of life in each episode. Well, we're back for another episode.
Oh, man, I've been looking forward to this.
I have been looking forward to this all week long.
You have, really?
Yes. I can't wait, man.
I mean, it's another Sunday afternoon.
It is another Sunday afternoon on the porch.
I can't tell you how excited I am every time we're done recording an episode to get to the next episode.
To jump into it, yeah. And so, going back to the same concept that we talked about, I finally got a pop filter.
You did?
Yeah, pop. Can you still hear my pops?
Well, I don't know. That's a lot of hard P's that you're using there. And I am using my pop filter that I've had the whole time that I haven't used it yet. So
I love your new setup, by the way.
Oh, thanks. It's a little awkward, but
it's fantastic.
It's working for right now.
So, sitting on the porch, it really truly looks like we're on a back porch right now, Will. You've got it wired up. I think your microphone's hanging from the ceiling, and
it is. It
the
comes
ceiling
around.
fan's
It's a
on.
ceiling fan, and it's moved slowly.
Just
so that I can talk into it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a new guest this week.
We do. We kind of saw our demographic, and we're like, we need to change this a little bit.
So tell me a little bit about our demographics. What's it looking like online?
The first couple episodes, it's about 25% women and 75% men.
Mm-hmm.
And then
does it go up from there?
It goes way down after that. As far as as how many women listen to us. And I guess it makes sense. But we decided to bring another a friend on the podcast with us, and so we'll give her a little introduction.
Yeah, so we've got Raylan Codes here. She's coming to visit us today on the porch, and so we've got some celebratory music coming in here. Kaylen, do you recognize this song?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Do you? What is this song, and what does it mean to you?
This is sort of my anthem that I like to listen to every morning just to start my day off right.
Yeah.
So, Also, I'm so happy I could be your token woman for the show. So thanks for having me. I'm a huge fan.
Do you listen to this song when you're doing your climbing? Because you like to rock climb,
gosh.
right?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Oh my gosh, it was a good guess. Actually,
Yes.
a really good guess.
I do like to rock climb occasionally.
Do you? Or wall climb, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for
That's
clarifying.
awesome.
By the way, I want to let our listeners know before they stop listening, you're not the token female guest.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're the first female guest.
You're the first inaugural female guest that we've
I
had.
feel so honored.
It wouldn't be a normal episode if we didn't go ahead and mention this one name that we hope to have on the episode, a future episode at some point.
Rebecca Renz. Yes. Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Jinx. Yeah. But you're our first guest on here, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Kaylen, and I rock climb, and I play the trumpet sometimes, and it actually about sums me up. There's not much left to me other than that.
Well, you like cats.
I do like cats.
Yes.
I do like cats, yes. And I'm a huge fan of the podcast, so,
That's awesome. How many episodes have you listened to?
Yeah, I'm a loyal listener.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Just don't quiz me. Just don't quiz me.
Okay.
Be honest.
I'll have to do some studying.
What's your favorite hymn song that's been sung on the podcast?
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure I could even choose.
Well, that's good because there hasn't been any.
There's been one.
There's been one. Sorry, yeah.
There's been one, and it's the only one we've sang the entire time.
Yeah.
That one.
It's the same one.
It's slipping my mind.
That's it.
Yes, that's
Finish
the
it,
one.
Will.
That would be the one. I'm longing for you. Something like that, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kaylen, you told us a little bit about yourself. What you want to talk about?
Yeah. You're supposed to bring the topic to us.
Yeah, you didn't
Okay,
bring
good
it?
to know.
Yeah.
Glad that was discussed too right now.
You know what? I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. We're gonna
Okay,
get right
sure.
into it. We spent some time together past a couple months ago in a town called Chicago.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the band. And let's talk about our Chicago trip a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's one thing in particular I want to talk about, and it's probably not what you're thinking.
Does it have to do with hamburgers?
Does it have
And
to do
people being really mean to us?
with hamburgers?
With a lot of bad words. Oh, hot dogs.
Oh.
Hot dogs.
It was hot dogs.
I got the hamburger.
You got the hamburger.
You got the hamburger at a
Yeah,
hot dog place.
I sure did.
That's like getting chicken tenders at a Tex-Mex
That's
place.
sacrilegious.
Hey, it looked good.
I mean, they have it on the menu, so why not? But was it good?
It was very good.
I didn't even ask you that.
It was very good. She was actually way meaner to you than she was to me. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
she really put me on the
understandably.
spot on the way out, though.
She did.
We're not going to go into that whole conversation.
We can't say what all she said to us and everything, but I just remember
Yeah.
we had just ordered our hot dogs, and I was like, I didn't get my drink, but I'm so scared to go up and ask for it.
I was scared to ask for a fork. So,
Well, I can't imagine why.
yeah, we had our other friend go ask for the fork.
Just for context, this place was like, I don't even remember what it was called.
It was the Wiener Circle.
Oh, yeah, Wiener Circle.
Yeah.
It's like a Dick's Last Resort sort of thing where they just
Sell hot dogs.
be really mean to you and feed you hot dogs.
And
or
hamburgers, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're
like
one of those kind of people.
ultra rude. and
Really,
mean to
Yeah.
you.
really
Insulting
obnoxious.
you. Yeah.
Obnoxiously rude.
Yeah, very creative.
Yeah.
Very creative.
That was the highlight of the trip. That wasn't what I was thinking of. And I wasn't also thinking of what we'll get into later, but you went to the zoo,
I sure
right?
did.
The Lincoln
Yeah.
Park Zoo. Is that the name of it?
I couldn't tell you. Chicago Zoo.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
Was
calling
that on the
I don't think
museum
it was
campus?
The Lincoln Park.
What?
Was it
Lincoln
the museum
Zoo,
campus
right?
or their little part of town called the museum campus?
No,
I have no idea.
Where's
It
the
was-
zoo at?
it was north of where we were staying.
Okay.
It's the Magnificent Mile where we
Yeah.
were. It's like up to the northeast,
Okay. Yeah.
near Lake Michigan, right?
Yes,
Could you see
yeah,
the?
it's like right by the water.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the zoo. Didn't you meet somebody?
Okay, so the funny thing is I actually didn't see any animals at the zoo, but
You saw their habitat.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I went at like 3 p.m. because I had gotten there a day early. Nobody had really gotten to Chicago yet for the convention, so
Okay, time out. It's what time of year was this?
it was December 19th.
Yeah. Okay. So it was-
Mid-December,
it
midwinter.
was midwinter
So it was
in
pretty
Chicago,
cold.
and so all the animals were probably.
Yes.
Hibernating.
So did they run a special on the zoo? Like, hey, it's a hibernation special. You're not going to see any animals,
Half
but you
off.
can see where they live.
No, and I guess my common sense was just not even there because I was like, yeah, I'll go to the zoo even though it's 25 degrees outside.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have thought about it either.
Okay, good
Yeah.
to know. That makes me feel a lot better. But anyway, so I go to the zoo at like 3 something. It's closed. I'm by myself, mind you, and I have been day drinking. Okay, because I got to Chicago really early and went in Chicago. Okay, so I started
in
drinking
Chicago.
when I got there at like 10, and then I just kind of kept it going all day to keep myself warm. Of course, I was being
It was cold.
yeah. Survival technique or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways, so I get there, it's closed, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, we don't have any animals. We just do this light festival thing at night. We open at 5:30. You can come back." And so he was like, "There's this little pub down the road. You can go and hang out until we open again." So I did, and I proceeded to keep drinking, as one does alone in Chicago. And I was like kind of making conversation with the people around me, but nobody was really buying in. And anyway, so this elderly woman comes in, probably in her 70s, and she sits down next to me at the bar and orders a chamomile tea, which I mean that sounds like my kind of woman right there. So
Right.
so
I like tea.
yeah.
I've heard of that tea. I don't know what the difference is between that and English breakfast tea or
Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey
Hey,
tea, green
I
tea.
like Earl Grey. Earl
Yeah.
Grey's good. But she orders chamomile teas, and she's by herself also. So I started conversating with her, and she was, explaining why she was in Chicago and who she was, and we just started getting to know each other. And then she mentioned that she was going to go to the zoo, but it was closed. And I was like, no way, me too. So then, since we had just hit it off, she invited me to go to the zoo with her. So I did. And we ended up going and looking at the Christmas lights together in the zoo, and she explained to me that she was recently divorced, and she owns a multi-million-dollar farm in Iowa apparently. And then by the end of the night, I guess we had become such good friends. We took a few pictures together, and real sweet lady. And then we exchanged emails.
That's exciting.
Emails, yeah. And I don't think we've even talked about this. We still talk sometimes. Like she'll still.
That's awesome.
That was my next question was,
Yes.
okay, I knew you had her email address. Do
Yeah.
y'all still talk?
Yes. So, that night I emailed her the pictures that we had taken together. And so she had my email address as well. And then occasionally, every couple of weeks, she'll shoot me an email like, "Oh, just checking on you. How you doing?" She actually invited me. I don't know if she's going to follow through with this,
Yeah.
but she actually invited me to go out to her farm in Iowa to visit her because she doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
And she's recently divorced, so she's just kind of...
Farm in Iowa. Is it a
Figuring out-
farm or what kind of farm
Yes,
is it? Yeah.
she doesn't really
What else
do...
is there in Iowa?
Yeah, she doesn't really have animals.
Potatoes is Idaho. Never mind.
Yeah, isn't Iowa corn?
Yeah.
Nebraska and Iowa.
Cornhuskers, Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yeah, but Iowa.
Iowa's kind of the...
I don't know.
Tornadoes.
I'm pretty sure.
It's Kansas.
Pretty sure they're like,
the Twisters.
Iowa, what do you want to talk about? Oh, I don't know. You want to talk about this? No, I want to talk about that. Corn. Oh, yeah, corn. I'll tell you all corn and corn.
Corn and nothing.
Corn. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Aren't you going to Idaho or
Idaho?
Iowa?
No, Moscow, Idaho. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, different states, but close enough, I guess.
Same
Not really,
concept.
not really.
They start with an I.
Vegetables.
Yeah, that is.
They're known for vegetables. Their state's known for vegetables.
So that's
Anyways,
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
She invited you.
Her name is Hazel.
Hazel? All right.
Yes.
Well, Hazel, if you're listening to the podcast, we'd love to have you on with Kaylen sometime
Yes,
and
I'll
get
send
your
her the- I'll
perspective.
send her the link.
Yeah.
Want to support the podcast and donate some money from your farm. I mean,
Yeah.
Help get our female
podcast to the next-
listeners.
Yeah.
our female demographic up. That'd be great.
Yeah.
We can appeal to the elderly.
I just think that's
demographic as
a
well.
really sweet story that
Thanks.
you can find friendship just
Anywhere.
with random people.
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
What are the chances that y'all were in that same bar at the same day?
I know.
And that,
I know.
It's who started the conversation? You or her?
I did.
With
Okay.
the chamomile
did.
tea, wasn't it?
She.
Like, why are you drinking Camel Grey? Let me recommend some.
Yeah, I
Earl
made
Grey.
fun of her for not. I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, yeah. I just leaned over and I was like, oh, so, what are you doing in Chicago? Or, whatever. And then we just started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she invited me to go to church with her on Sunday, but I was leaving on Saturday, so I couldn't go with her.
So what was she doing in Chicago just for fun?
So she actually owns a condo in Chicago
Okay.
that she said she's owned for over 20 years. So this woman is like
Wow.
probably loaded.
So she's got money.
Yeah. She said that she just comes out for the holidays, to get her city fix because she doesn't really get much of that, at home. So, and no kids. So maybe she'll pass her farm off to me.
So you like to travel, though, right?
I do like to travel. I haven't done much, but yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, now that I have the means to.
What's her name?
Hazel.
Hazel. I want you to listen close to this
I am once again asking for your financial support.
for our podcast.
Oh,
Is that Bernie?
it's a cry for help.
Yeah.
It's Bernie. A cry for
It's a cry for help.
Oh.
Well, that's cool. So about your travels.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We do that a lot to our guests.
Oh, it's okay.
We
It's
interrupt
okay.
a lot of times. And
We actually
I'm very
interrupt each
tolerant
other
of you,
quite a
so-
bit.
We
That's
do.
a part of the
we do.
candor.
Yeah. So what were you asking about travels?
You
Oh.
were asking about travels.
No,
Yeah,
I thought you said something about travels.
I think you were interluing back to the concept of conversation of travels, but
I guess so.
yeah. So okay, so you've been to Chicago. What's your big next travel? Since you have the means to travel, what's your next big spot?
So, like timeline wise, I actually just a couple days ago booked a hotel in Colorado for
Okay.
spring break.
Yeah.
I have nothing planned. I'm just gonna drive up there, and why not?
Yeah.
But I also am planning a trip to Iceland in June.
Cool.
Oh, that is
yeah,
really cool.
and like April to September is the best time to go see the lights.
Yeah.
So that's
okay.
what I, and
the
it's
Aurora Borealis.
yeah. And I was, doing some research for solo travel, trying to figure out safe options for
Yeah.
solo female travelers. And Iceland was like one of the top rated because they've got really good public transportation and low crime rates. And
So in a previous school that I used to teach at, we did a couple of abroad travels where we went to Europe a couple of times. And we talked about it, I think, in episode 1.
Yeah.
When we went to the Scotland trip that we did, our tour guide that was with us right there, she does a lot of tours in Iceland, and she just talked nonstop about how awesome of a place that was, how friendly everybody was, and how pretty, all that stuff. Are they still having the volcano issues?
I'm not even sure, but every time I bring this up in conversation, people always mention
Somebody-
that. So I'm,
Aren't you worried
probably.
You
about
might
the
want to
magma?
double check that. You
The-
know,
Well,
the
it's a very
lava?
it's a large place. I'm sure I can avoid
Yeah.
it somehow.
ninja hop around some.
if
Yeah, I'm
there's-
quick on my
volcanoes.
feet.
I,
You can rock climb. That's a good trait.
Yeah.
You can't. So I don't know if we already said this or not, and if we did, I'm sorry, but we chose that song. It's not very funny, but because you do rock climb as a
Yes.
hobby, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that. Like, what got you into it? What made you want to do it? And
But I want to get back to the traveling thing in just a second.
Okay.
okay,
But go ahead.
all right, we'll circle back around.
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in that and probably forget
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Well, just I got into it recently, just I was playing with Mesquite Symphony towards Dallas, and I needed some sort of activity to occupy my time because I was driving to Dallas every weekend for rehearsals. So I needed to find something to do post rehearsal. Also, just like a hobby of mine, since I had just started teaching, I needed something that wasn't band related. Oh yeah, I also teach band. I don't know if I mentioned that. But yeah, anyways. So I got into it, and I also just like to stay like pretty active, and that was just another avenue for me to do that. But it's been really interesting. It's been really cool because I've also been, exposed to a whole new community of people. And it's a very social activity. Like, it's not your typical gym experience where you go and everyone kind of has their headphones in and minds their business. Like, people don't even like make eye contact at your regular gym. But here, everybody's really interactive and supportive and encouraging, and they always want to help. And so I've just met a really good community of people. It's really social. But to tie it back to traveling, now that I've like gotten...
She's a professional at that. Did you see that? She remembers. She's like, we're not going to forget about this.
She's
Yeah,
like, I've put a pin in this, so we're ready to go back.
Yeah.
What's the name of the gym, the rock gym you go to?
Movement Gym.
Movement Gym.
Yeah,
Once
they do.
again, asking for your financial support.
If you'd like to sponsor this podcast,
Yes.
email us at sapspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, yeah.
If somebody from Movement Gym is listening to this podcast. Anyway, so
right,
circling back to the traveling thing. You're going to Colorado. Where are you going to specifically in Colorado?
Boulder.
Okay. So Boulder's right outside of the Denver area.
Yes.
Yeah, Boulder is a pretty safe place. I've been there. I like that place.
I've not been there. So
Okay. Have you been to Colorado, period?
I just threw drum corps.
Okay.
I mean, hardly.
If you get a chance, go to Estes Park. Okay. It's beautiful up there. You could do some hiking there. Okay. It's the kind of the entrance to the national park there.
Yeah.
But when you go and come into Estes Park, you enter the area where the Stanley Hotel's at. Do you know the Stanley?
Is that the Shining?
The Shining Hotel.
Oh.
Yeah, have you ever seen the Shining?
No, but I've seen clips and I get
Red-
the gist.
Red Rum.
Ask me if I've seen it.
I'm not going to ask you that question because you're fixing to tell me you're not, and it's going to make me mad.
I haven't seen it.
The first
It's
one
the
or
one-
the second one? The one with the...
I haven't seen either one.
Oh, my God.
Are you talking about the one with Jack Nicholson?
This is dating
Yes.
you.
Jack Nicholson? Nicholson.
Nicholson, yeah.
That's the actor, yeah. No, isn't that the one with like the twin girls
Red Rum.
and the boy that rides the tricycle or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood flowing out of
that's
it.
the Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it,
Okay,
that's
see,
it.
I thought those were
Do you-
all separate movies. I guess they're all one movie. So
Do you know
united in
what
one.
that's a reference to when he goes, Here's Johnny?
can't say I do.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's an old news TV show, late night TV show.
Yeah, the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, well, you
He
guys
used
are
to be-
significantly older than I. So.
Well, hold on. I
Just to
didn't ever
remind
watch
you.
Johnny Carson. I'm not that old, but I guess he was around
Will,
when I was a
you're-
kid.
Will,
but
you're
that was
basic-
like the Tonight Show host before Jay Leno.
You're
Okay.
basically a dad, Will.
Yeah, basically, you're right. I'm basic.
You're an old dad,
basic. Anyway, so that's a place you can go to.
I tried throwing a bone there, but I guess I didn't land it.
I didn't hear it.
About the dad joke.
I just heard the
I didn't
old
get
part.
it. Yeah.
I was on
Well,
board.
never
so.
mind.
Anyway, so Colorado. So,
Boulder,
do you
yeah.
do you already have plans on what you're going to do?
No.
Now you're going to go to this hotel, but
See, yeah, no, I don't really have plans yet. I was kind of just gonna go up there and just see where life takes me. However, I feel like I would enjoy hiking, outside of like the Tyler State Park. But I'm a little hesitant to go hiking by myself because I'm not sure if you guys are like conspiracy theorists. But have you seen like the missing person maps?
Bigfoot?
Yeah, Bigfoot
Okay,
exists.
kind
It is
of.
Bigfoot.
Kind of, but like the missing person maps where it shows like, throughout the cave systems and the national parks where it's
Just don't look at Appalachia when you're looking at those numbers.
I'm not
it's
going
really
there.
bad there. I grew up there and I love it.
They're
And I'm not-
skinwalkers.
well, I'm gonna
not
sound like
scared
a
of that
dad here.
place,
Like
but-
it does like concern me. Like since you're a friend of mine, knowing that you're going somewhere by yourself, and like it does worry me. I'm sure.
Will is
yeah.
stepping in as your dad right now.
I'm not even like scared of the the wildlife, the bears or anything. I'm definitely scared of people I could potentially encounter.
Yeah.
But I can handle myself, I think. kind
Yeah.
of.
Well, that's cool. You're going to Colorado. Like, is it still going to be snowing there or anything? Do you know?
So it potentially,
The higher elevations, I'm sure.
yeah.
Well, they'll
potentially.
definitely have like fake snow at the ski resorts at
Yeah.
least, right?
I don't plan to go skiing, but
I was about
I'm
to
not a
ask you, are you
skier
going to go
either.
skiing?
no, I would love to go skiing,
not
but
me.
I've got like fear of breaking bones.
That is exactly why I won't do it.
I have a fear of being like Sonny Bono.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to break my neck if I get on a pair of skis because I'm a big guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
No.
know-
I'm
You
probably
don't,
the
okay.
biggest guy in this room right now,
Yeah.
and I just don't want to break my leg or my neck.
I would like to try snowboarding, but I mean, I would be on the like,
No.
I don't know if they call it like bunny hills or the, they have got the different color
Yeah.
slopes
Yes,
or whatever. Like I
levels.
would be
Difficulty
on the
levels.
one with all the 5-year-olds.
Hey, there's no shame.
No,
you have to start somewhere. I guess.
Pizza. I know that's
I mean,
the thing
we
they
would
yell,
definitely
right?
shame you, but
Pizza, yeah, but that's the stop.
Because
That's the stop.
Yeah. So that's what they would do to me.
Yeah. So you're not going to go skiing. You're just going to go
I-
hang out and go hiking.
yeah, go hiking. There's like this waterfall park. It's called Seven Falls or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's closed until March 22nd, so I'm gonna miss it by a week.
That stinks.
That's
So-
like going to Chicago and trying to see that bean, and it's
Yeah.
closed.
I know. What the heck?
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh,
the
that
highlight of the
was not
city.
fun.
Yeah, I was so mad at that.
So during COVID, I got on this like travel kit because I was like, I have got to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm going to go to Mount Rainier in Seattle and go hiking at Mount Rainier. And I'd seen these pictures of the Reflections Lake or Glass Lake or something like that. Beautiful. Okay. And it's like all these fall colors reflected on the lake. The water's still picturesque, just top thing. So fly into Seattle, rent a car, and I drive up to the hotel, get settled, and the next day, I got a truck, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up to Mount Rainier. And so I get up to the park, and the lady looks at me and she's like, yeah, we just had our first snowstorm. It's snowing right now. And she was like, you can still go up to the main park, but some of our passes are closed. Well, I get up there and they closed the pass to the lake that I drove all the way up there for in the first place. So I'm like,
Dang.
this is kind of a,
What was those? I drug y'all all the way up to Wrigley, so I could see Wrigley, and they had construction fences
Yes,
around the
yes,
front of it. And I was like,
yeah.
well, this is kind of lame.
yeah, but
But
we
we
got
can
some
still
good,
see the board,
we got
I
some good
guess.
pizza.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was good pizza.
Yeah.
Our first episode, when Ryan came over to the porch, I had my pizza stone, and I did some Chicago Tavern
It was
style
really
Oh,
good.
nice.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good attempt.
Nostalgic.
It turned out well. I
Yeah.
love that thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use it. Oh, I used to use it a lot. I've been too busy lately, but I plan on doing it again this weekend, making some pizza.
Do you cook much?
Yeah, I love cooking. I do, barbecue, the standard Texas stuff, brisket, ribs.
Nick's barbecue the other day was really good.
His pork butts he made was really good.
Oh my gosh.
And I've gotten into where I do pizza now. And
Oh.
I watch a lot of Dave Portnoy One Bite reviews.
Yes, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, everybody knows the rules. One Bite. Anyway, I watch a lot of his stuff, and so I've kind of learned a little bit about pizza through that, and I've used YouTube to kind of learn how to make different styles. And so far on my list, I've done New York style, New Haven style, Chicago Tavern style, and there's one other. I've done like a pan pizza, like a Detroit style
Nice.
too. So
Have you seen the video of his? I don't know where he's at, but there's like the
Probably.
guy that walks by and he's
which one? Which
appears
time?
to have no arms.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like,
He said, "Be sure to
like,
give it
into
to a crack
addict. How's he pulling that?
He's waits till he gets all the way down the street, and he's like,
How's he pulling
Frank,
that?
"How's he pulling that, Frankie? He's got."
I think that you and Ryan should do that for your Halloween costume this year. One of you can
You
be
know,
That would be
the funny thing
fantastic.
about
the
that
armless
guy,
man.
just a couple years ago, he got arrested.
Yes, I heard.
And everybody
about
that watches the One Bite reviews are like, wait a minute, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
And it's the same guy from the video. And it's kind of sad,
Classic.
but yeah.
What did he get arrested for?
I think it was like,
It was pretty intense. I feel like I remember.
I thought it was like
seeing.
cocaine or something, or he bit
Oh.
somebody.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He didn't punch anybody.
Yeah.
I think biting might be worse though. So
Yeah. It's like Mike Tyson-esque.
Mhm.
No, my favorite review that he does is the Nick and Pat's, where the lady is screaming at him from the beginning, like, I don't
Yes.
want to be on camera. And he's like, you're not
you're
on
not.
camera.
You're literally not.
And then this like homeless guy comes up and he's like bleeding from the bridge of his nose, and he
Yes.
starts saying like plastic machine, and he's like, what? Plastic machine? And he just walks off, and he's like, Frankie, what is going on? And he's about to start doing the
real
review.
life?
It's funny because it's so authentic. Like none of that is planned. It
And
just
this lady throughout the entire, like, it's like a 9-minute review, and he finally gets to the pizza. This lady's screaming at him the whole time, like, I don't want to be on camera. And she's like, you're not. And she's like, you should put a pizza up there if you want people to know you do pizza. And he's like, I don't own the place. I'm just doing a
Just
review.
a
And
review
she's
of
like,
this
okay.
pizza here.
she was confused. I think
That's wild.
And these guys walk out and they're like, horrible experience, worst pizza,
Yes.
worst place we've been
Oh,
to.
okay.
They're like, there's nobody in there. And then this guy comes
Yeah.
up in a cane and he's like, I fought a wars for you. And he's like, you did? And he's like, yep, World War II. And he's like, okay, thank you for your service. My pleasure. It's like,
so random.
I love his reviews. It's
Yes.
so genuine with people. Have you seen the Dragon Pizza review? It's a relatively new one. It's been a couple of months now.
Probably not then.
Oh, it's another viral one, but this time because the owner goes ballistic on him.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. This guy's got a lot of
On a scale of 1 to 10, how
leeway.
ballistic are we talking?
12. They start. You need when this is over, we'll watch it. It's not
Okay.
safe for ears. Like it's
Jeez.
It's pretty rough.
it is pretty rough, but it is so like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's complaining because he's like, oh, you destroy small business, and it's actually kind of the opposite.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's just mad because he rates pizzas, and it's like,
I've never really seen him. I mean, you've probably watched more than I have, but I've never really seen him rate something poorly. It's usually.
oh, I have.
Oh.
Goodfellas
I guess I'm a
Pizza.
fake fan.
Goodfellas Pizza in Tennessee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He gave him a 0.0.
Oh my gosh.
Because they
Where's-
kicked him.
where
They
at in
kicked him out.
Tennessee?
I don't remember. I think it's Nashville.
But maybe they
Yeah.
kicked him out because maybe not.
The
the pizza wasn't bad.
The
just
guy came up
service.
and said, "Hey, do you guys have a permit to film here?" And he's like, "No." And he's just chewing the pizza, and he's mad already because it's stone cold. And he's like, "Okay, well in that case, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to exit the patio here." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Okay, fine." And he says, Goodfellas Pizza, National Pizza Review, getting kicked out, 0.0. And
Jeez.
he starts
Boo,
spitting the pizza out,
Goodfellas.
and everybody's like, what happened? What'd you give it? He's like, 0.0. What? Why'd you do that? And he's like, they kicked me out. They gave me an ice cold pizza, and they
Kicked him out.
so this pizza joint made shirts, and it had 0.0 on the shirts. Like they'd fired that guy.
At least they went with it.
Yeah. So they fired that guy, and they were like begging him to come back. So he finally came back, and I think he gave him like a 7.8 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
They redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
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 That's
It's
pretty cool.
so much that like when we travel somewhere, like when we went to Chicago,
Yes.
we ate at one of the restaurants he went to. 2 of them, me and you did. We went to Giordano's, but it wasn't the same location though. So I guess that's kind of. But the where we had the tavern style, he had been there. That was his second highest rated tavern style.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good pizza.
Yeah, we would have gone to the other one, but it was going to be like a 40-minute Uber ride,
Yeah.
and it was in Southwest Chicago.
Yeah, we
and I was
didn't
like,
need to go out that way.
yeah, so we didn't do it.
We made the mistake of traveling a little south from the convention center
Yeah.
to get on the subway train. That
Well-
was a pretty rough thing.
One thing that me and my wife do when we travel is we try to find all these places that have been featured like on a TV show or something and try to eat there and try it out. We very much travel around food. Like a lot of our spots are. So
Nice.
when we go to Chicago, I'm going to take her to that place. I'm going to try to go to, I think Vito and Nick's is the place.
Y'all need to go to
Okay.
Ed DeBevick's too.
Yeah. Ed DeBevick's.
That was
You didn't
fun.
go to Ed DeBevick's.
I don't
No,
think
you,
so.
you missed a good time there.
That's like Dick's Last Resort, but it's a 50s diner.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just into that. I
We're
guess.
just, we love the humiliation.
the
Oh.
abuse.
The abuse, the verbal abuse, I guess.
Whoever ordered the pancakes at 9:30 at night, you're a monster. We didn't order the pancakes.
No, we didn't, but somebody else
Good
did.
thing.
And they had they had like a DJ booth,
Oh.
and they would come up to the microphone and say something,
Public
make fun
humiliation.
of whatever.
Yeah.
Like she made fun of what we were wearing, like our sweaters and
Dang.
stuff. She said, "Did y'all plan on?" What did she say? She said something to us.
I can't remember
Were you guys
that
matching?
part.
No, I
No,
mean you saw we were
But we
wearing,
were dressed up from the convention.
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah,
she-
because we were told that people wear suits to these.
She
And so,
she basically said she expected a bigger tip because we look like we were rich.
yeah. I was
We
like,
were like, that's
No,
not
we're
not the
teachers.
case.
looks aren't
We work in
everything.
Looks could be
education.
deceiving.
Sorry to disappoint.
I used points to get my.
Yes. So hey, have you seen the new Wonka movie?
I know, but I've heard it's really good, and I'm a fan of Timothy
Chalamet, is that his name?
Chalamet, yeah.
Salamander, whatever his last name is.
Chalamet.
You should watch it. It's really good. You know, that leads me to my interesting news story. You know, there was an event that was put on, and England. And so basically this person charged £35 a ticket for these people to come out and have this like wonderful experience.
I know. I saw this too. I was going to bring this up. I'm so glad you did. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, it was in Scotland.
Was it in Scotland? Glasgow? Yeah, it was.
It was in Glasgow.
Yeah. So anyway, this is what they got charged £35 for. Okay?
Yeah. They called the police.
They had a drink station.
Oh my gosh.
There was a chocolate bar. And then there was also,
that looks like a good time to me.
Because they had basically advertised it as like a Willy Wonka immersive experience.
Yeah,
nice.
It's like a fully immersive.
Just an empty room with concrete
floors. Now, and I will say this.
Imagine
they had a bounce house.
Yeah, and it was this huge warehouse where they did this too. Yeah, they had a bounce house in there.
It was mostly empty and plain.
Imagine like maybe just like a bedroom size of a scenery of Wonka, and that's what they had here, and then right next to it was another scene but only about the size of a bedroom. So you would have to do some really good angles of your camera to make it look anything if you're going to take pictures with it.
And a lot of people paid for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There were several, because I mean, the basic heading that I had read was "Kids left in tears and police called over shambolic Willy Wonka inspired event after parents forked out £35."
No, it's not 911 over there. It's
112.
112.
Good to know.
There's something like that. Yeah. So I thought.
By the way, when you go to Iceland, make sure you know what the 911 is over there.
But
yeah, that's actually a good point. I will do that.
Basically, I didn't think about that till now.
Bottom line, the ticket promised a chocolate fantasy like never before.
Well, I would say
this is a once in a
lifetime thing for them.
I think that it fulfilled the promise.
It did.
Had they ever experienced anything like that before?
I don't think so. And
Where's
I don't
the
think
false
they will ever
advertising?
experience again.
They're
There's
just
a bounce
preparing
house.
kids for the disappointment of life.
Oh, is that?
Come to this event and we'll prepare your kids for the disappointment that is life.
Come with me and you'll be in a state of pure disappointment.
Oh, I was going to go imagination, but...
Well, that's how it actually goes. I actually, the news story that I'd read this week was they had, I think it was for the first time ever, they had a Florida Man Games. So
yes, I think I heard something of this.
Yeah, so, there's always this, you can Google Florida Man news story or whatever, and you always get the craziest things or whatever.
Yeah.
One of them was you actually had to escape the police. Like they actually had police officers that were chasing you, and you had to like run over these fences and ride on a bike and like got attacked by like these blow up alligators or something. And
that's the part I would have liked to have seen as a blow up alligator.
It sounds very America.
Yeah, and they had the referees for it were Ice from American Gladiators.
Yeah.
And I think I don't remember who the guy was. It was one of the guys from the Gladiators there. Maybe Storm, but I think that's one of the girls too. I can't remember. Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
I think that we should go enter the contest.
The Florida Man contest?
Yeah,
to see how far we can get. I would agree.
I think I lack an experience there though.
Yeah, why not?
But you know what? You never gain experience unless you go out and do something.
I guess you're right.
That's right.
I guess you're right.
You've always got to take the first step.
You couldn't do one of the events though. Because one of the events is like drinking beer.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
You can't have that.
It's unfortunate, but
yeah.
Did you guys ever get into the show Survivor?
We talked a little bit about that the other day, didn't we?
We
had a little side conversation about it. And yeah, I did. And I grew up in a town where one of the Survivor, he wasn't the winner, but he was kind of the second runner up, I guess you could say.
Is this the guy that lives in Tyler?
No, it's the guy that lived in Irwin, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Because there's a guy in Tyler that was on Survivor.
No
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I'll tell you his name.
I love Survivor.
I'll tell you his name later.
The new season comes out tonight, pretty sure.
Oh, I've never seen one episode of it.
It's so good. I used to watch it growing up with my grandma.
I never watched.
So you're taking a night off of your favorite TV show to come and be a part of the podcast.
Yeah, that's just I just enjoy you guys.
And we even gave you the option, hey, do you want it this night, or this night? And you're like,
you chose the Survivor
When
night.
I'm watching a new show, I like to save up a few episodes just in case I want to binge. I'll have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah,
That's
there's
smart.
nothing worse than being like, I want to watch the next episode, and you're like, oh, wait, it doesn't come out until next week.
Yeah. Actually, I usually will save a full season so that I can just watch them at my, whenever I want to.
Right.
So Gavin Whitson is the Survivor runner-up that grew up in Irwin, and so he's got a survival store. And I've actually been in his survival store. I haven't met him, but I've been in his store. It was pretty cool.
Is the show like? I know it's like a game show, and people get voted off the island and all that stuff.
Yes.
But they do like games or
Trials.
Trials, yeah. Do the trials have anything to do with getting voted off?
Well, I mean, sometimes, like if you don't prove yourself.
Is the purpose of the trial to gain some kind of advantage, like
immunity, right?
It can be, yes. So
everybody gets a chocolate bar if you win this, or
but
whatever.
no, it's immunity. It's not a chocolate bar.
Oh, okay.
It starts off with 2 tribes, and they each compete for, they either go, if they lose, they go to tribal council, and then from that group that lost, they'll vote somebody off. But if your tribe won the contest or whatever, then you're safe for the next couple of days. And then eventually when the numbers get low enough, they'll merge into a single tribe, and then it's for individual immunity that you compete for.
But now they can compete for food and stuff like that too.
Yes. And so not every, oh my gosh, I'm like forgetting the word. Not every I keep contest, for lack of a better word, is for immunity. Like
trial?
Sometimes, yes, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's for food. Sometimes it's to like see a loved one. Like when they get late in the show, they'll bring out loved ones, because it's a long experience. It's like a month long that they're out on this island with 0 contact with home.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very good though, and it's a tasteful reality show.
Yeah.
So I actually applied to be on it, but the problem is, and we were talking about this the other day, it's filmed in May and June, so I'd have to like miss work.
Miss spring concert and the spring trip.
Oh, we're an April spring.
Oh yeah, you are. Y'all do
kinda,
y'all's early. That's right.
Kind of team. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
There's just too much going on in May.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the
even
trip? Where are you
bother.
guys going on the trip?
With the high school?
Yeah.
We're taking the high school. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I actually am really excited. We're going to Six Flags, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And we're also taking them to Medieval Times, which I don't know if y'all have been to Medieval Times.
I've always wanted to go to Medieval Times.
I love
I've never
Medieval
been.
Times.
Yeah. I went there for my 24th birthday, and it was one of the top experiences of my life. It was so much fun. So much fun.
That's cool. I like Medieval Times.
Did your night now? Each area where you sit has a night assigned to them, right?
Yes, my night 1 too.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
Yeah, our night 1, and
Now I think I remember seeing that on Facebook.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because you posted big news about that.
Yes, it was a big deal.
It was a big day.
Do they actually get hit like when they joust and stuff?
I'm sure they do, but I'm sure it's not.
Is it like wrestling? They already know who's going to win. They just make it look real.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like AI.
Just kidding. Wrestling is real. It's not fake.
Yeah, be very tread
Ignorance is bliss.
softly, Will.
I need to tread softly. You're right. I was
on
on
that topic there. So, what do you guys? Speaking about real things and stuff, what do you think about AI?
I think it's scary because people are using it to create like fake phone calls and things.
Yeah.
So if I get a phone call and it's my dad or something and it sounds just like his voice, and he's like, obviously that's gonna raise concern.
Yeah.
And how will I know the difference? But people are doing that to get money and to scam people.
Yeah.
And it's really realistic.
It is. Well, what do you think about AI right now?
I think it can serve a good purpose, but I worry about giving it free reign or free thought.
Yeah.
And part of it is because the movies, and I have seen some movies. I've not seen that.
Please don't say War Games. You haven't seen War Games. Have you seen the movie War Games?
Oh man. Oh, that's. Oh wait. I think I have. It's an '80s movie, right?
Yes.
And the kid is a hacker or something, and
on the old telephone modem.
And he finds out that he's actually
hacking NATO, like the computer NATO.
I think I've seen it maybe once, but it was actually recently. It was in like the past 5 years that I've seen.
I'm glad you've seen that one.
No, it was at Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I hadn't seen it yet. You know where it is?
In your car?
It's still in my car. I haven't moved it yet.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about AI.
AI. Sorry. No, I mean, because of the movies, like where AI just starts thinking things on its own and like, hold on, especially that movie I, Robot with Will Smith.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And they start talking about like the 3 rules, and it's like AI is like, actually that rule's obsolete, or this because of this and that, and this is actually what it should be. Where basically where AI starts playing God. I kind of worry about that because we depend so much on technology
100%.
on everything.
Have you seen like the new Apple? They're like
oh
glasses?
yeah, the visual glasses,
the Vision
that
Pros,
is
or something.
absolutely insane to me.
I can't believe that people will wear it while driving. They'll walk around with it and stuff.
I couldn't do that while I was driving.
It's a lot like a mobile version of WALL-E.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
in the movie
yeah.
WALL-E, where they're just sitting around and they're glued to the screen.
It's dystopian to me
Yeah.
to think that that's actually happening. Is
I just don't think I could
mind.
handle that much connectivity.
No,
Like, I don't like my phone anyway,
but people
really.
Yeah.
people use their technology as like a coping mechanism, an escape. They can't function without some sort of stimulation, and that's just going to provide constant stimulation. They're not even like how does the human brain function without?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just insane.
Well, and I think too, like with the Vision Pro, like there's parts of it that I'm like, oh man, that seems really cool. I'd like to experience what that is, but I'd be afraid that it would suck me in and like, okay, I'm using this for everything now, and this is how I'm interacting with people. Like I saw one where the guy is like ordering coffee, and he can see the guy he's talking to, but like right behind him is his like quote unquote like his shopping list, and he's looking at that and not the guy.
No, the human brain should not have to be able to process all of those things all at the same time.
Oh man, I saw something else this week. This kind of goes along that.
Well,
you're going to talk about Elon Musk?
Yeah, well, let's get there. Okay,
the Elon
let
Musk.
me tell you
Do
this.
you know about
let
this?
me tell you about this first. Okay.
Essentially.
What spurred this conversation is I was reading an article, and it basically said that users say that Microsoft's AI has an alternate personality as a godlike AGI that demands to be worshipped.
Oh my gosh.
So when I was reading this article earlier this week too, it was basically like some people had said some things to this AI supposedly and unlocked this thing, and there were some of the users had said that
I've seen some things in the past where AI was like they'd give it some kind of scenario or whatever, and it always ended up with saying that it's going to kill people.
Like, I can unleash my army of drones, robots, and cyborgs to hunt you down and capture you.
Right.
Is what, one of the users has stated. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting kind of scary, because, I mean, they could probably hack some, crazy things and make that happen.
Did you hear about what Elon Musk?
This is
company
the
just did?
brain implants.
Yeah, the brain implants.
Yes.
They implanted a chip into somebody, like he volunteered to do it, whatever. And basically he can control the mouse
with his brain.
Not
interested.
Yeah. And they're looking to hopefully like continue doing it to where, he can control more stuff.
That's
with
insane.
it. But they were
I will
successful.
not do
It's
that.
like a Black Mirror episode. You guys
They were
ever
successful
watch that
in
show?
No, I did not.
It sounds just like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
Would you ever do that?
What?
Heck no.
Insert something in your head like that to be able to
Heck
control
no.
other things?
No, if I had, for sure, there was no way that somebody could hack into it and like control me. You know what I mean? Like if I could control, whatever. But then I kind of think always go. Okay, hold on. I always go to video games with this, right?
Yeah.
Like the Vision Pro, how I'm trying to think how it would go with a video game, and of course they have MetaQuest and what's the other one?
The Oculus
Rift, yeah, stuff like that. And I've used that before, and I got like motion sickness with it. I was like, I can't do this, even though I don't think I have motion sickness. But I always think about like with that chip, like, okay, well now can I play Warzone and all of a sudden be really good because I just look at somebody and I can look at that character and trace them and have perfect aim with it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, that kind of takes the fun out of it because part of the fun is that I'm terrible at it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I was watching a TikTok the other day that was talking to, it was a lady, and she was talking about her AP biology class. Okay. So she also had kids that were in AP geography. All right. She teaches high school, obviously. And so she was making a comment that, she was really concerned about kids and cell phones and electronic devices because we've lost our curiosity for figuring information out or finding 100%. Information.
Right.
And so the interesting thing that started this conversation is she was having a conversation in class about Hawaii and Alaska. And so one of the kids made a comment. They're like, are you talking about those two states that have fences around them? And she was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, those are the two states that have fences that they've built, right? And she was like, no. She was like, where do you think they are? Well,
Oh, good Lord.
she was like, the kid said they're right beside each other, in the Pacific or whatever. And so I think what they're thinking about is like when you look at a map, they are right beside each other at the bottom of the map.
Oh, but yeah, you're right. They're boxed off too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently these kids think that they were, these two places. And she was like, well, what do you think the environment is like in Hawaii and Alaska? And they're like, well, it's kind of tropical, right?
Oh, goodness.
So two different places. But it amazes me that, students that are like in an AP geography class can't even tell that, Alaska is in, the northern part of the United States, and, Hawaii is in the, southern part.
Yeah.
Not really necessarily in the southern part, but,
Yeah.
Not to mention that, but just the overexposure to technology from such a young age and then on just limits their creativity as well.
Well, we were talking about travel earlier. I have a curiosity to go out and see the world. My sister moved to Ventimiglia, Italy, and that's one place I really want to go visit. But not just I do want to visit my sister, but I want to see the culture. I want to see the people. I want to know, how they live life, every day. And I just don't see that curiosity in, young people anymore.
Oh, yeah. When I ask my students, like, oh, what'd you guys do this weekend? Oh, I played Fortnite. Yeah, so that's it. Did you go outside? The weather was really great. No, not really. And it's like, yeah, but that's kind of concerning.
And I kind of sound contradictory with all this, because sometimes I am like, yeah, I just want to play a video game.
Well, sure.
What are you doing this weekend? I just want to go play a video game or something. I don't know. I use my phone to look up stuff all the time, but I kind of use it, I guess, in a curiosity type way, or I wonder about this and look it up.
Even adults, like, we've had so much exposure to technology. I can't function without the GPS feature on my phone, or like the ability to just have information at my fingertips.
Did you ever have to print out MapQuest?
No.
Do you even know what that is?
No, I don't.
So I remember as a growing teacher having to print out directions to stadiums to give out to all the bus drivers.
Yeah, me too. That's what I would do. It's a contest. I would have to print out directions.
We still do that. I think we're old fashioned.
So you'd go to MapQuest and you type in where your start and end
point.
Have
you ever heard of MapQuest?
Yes.
It would give you turn by turn directions, but you could print it out.
Yes.
And you could, like, it had the map. You could print the map out.
You could print the map out of that section that was on there. And I mean, I had a GPS also that reminds me of another story I'll have to get into some other time. You have to ask me about my experience.
But when
with
Google
GPS.
Maps came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It was all
But
on
when
your phone.
MapQuest came out, we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
They just keep one-upping it.
Right. Makes me feel old.
Now we get to get a brain implant, and we don't even have to worry about directions. We can just
just have a knowing.
Thank them to each other.
Right.
It's crazy.
I mean, because part of it just seems like, well, why don't we just lay in a vegetative state like in the Matrix and just...
We wouldn't even need microphones for our podcast.
No, we wouldn't. We'd
just think it.
The sound and audio would be perfect every time.
We joke, but like the speed at which this is all happening is just insane.
Yeah.
Like I can't even comprehend how they've invented some of the things they've created. Like,
I mean,
even the thing.
Computers were not even 100 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe? Like, what, 1930 or something? Maybe before that?
Mm-hmm.
But not much. And they're already doing this. And look how long it took us to get to the moon. And,
Maybe if we did get those implants, though, Quebec Arenz might join our podcast.
Maybe she might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should look into that.
Should look into that.
Speaking of getting to the moon, what do you guys think about the deniers? The deniers of the moon landing?
Oh, goodness. Which moon landing? The one that recently took place? Or
like the original?
Now, are we also going to talk
both.
about, like, flat earthers, too? Or are we...
We can talk about whatever you want. It's your podcast.
I don't understand the reasoning behind prove it to me that we landed there. You know what I mean? Like... It's we can't prove we have all this stuff to prove you wrong, but it's more of prove to me that we actually
show me the evidence.
Yeah.
What evidence do you have? What backing?
I don't know, but you know what I mean? It's backwards in my mind when you have like truth deniers like that. We go way off the ledge with whatever you want to call the truth deniers, but like the world is flat and that we landed on the moon.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this, like, as a person, I'm a research-based person. Like, show me peer-reviewed research that shows us that we didn't land on.
But is a picture enough?
No.
Even back when AI couldn't create it? Because, I mean, AI could create it now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
AI created our porch, didn't it?
It kind of did. No, we came up with
No, that's
all
our porch.
Yeah.
I painted the porch picture.
Yeah, good job.
With my
so
words.
proud of you.
With your words. It is, I don't know. It's like they're like, oh, Antarctica is an ice wall. You know what? So what if it is? Why are we arguing about this? Does it really matter?
we kind of need to probably be careful.
I think people just need to have like a stray opinion. They just need to argue in general.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Okay, I've got a question for y'all.
Okay.
It kind of just made me think of this.
I'm so excited.
This is one of my favorite questions to ask people because I feel like people's answers tell you a lot about them.
Do we have to answer one at a time?
Yes.
No, we have to answer at the same time.
Yes. No, I want to hear your your answers and then your reasoning. Okay. So the question is, if you could go back in time to any point in history, or if you could go forward in time to any point in the future, and be a fly on the wall, and observe some event without having any effect on the outcome, and you could be there for any amount of time without it having an effect on the present time as well, what would you go see?
To be honest with you, like knowing the history that I know about it, I think the Holocaust was a super atrocious thing that took place in our history. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I have always wondered how a man like Adolf Hitler, being as terrible as he was, could get into power in the way that he did. And I've always been interested to see how a group of people decided to let that happen. Mm-hmm. So that's probably one thing that I would have liked to have seen.
You know, and
does that sound terrible?
No, and well, I'll let you answer in a second. But my roommate and I were actually discussing this the other day because we were talking about how if we were alive during that time, you know, what we would have done if we were like in Germany at that time. Like, would we have been followers of Hitler or would we have strayed? And like, it's crazy to think, like, obviously you want to say like, oh, I wouldn't. But like, he somehow got an entire like group of people to follow him with no questions.
I mean, I hate to equate it to this, but just look at American politics. Either side of the aisle, for the most part, you can see the, you know, I always feel like I'm in the middle of the politics. Like I don't lean one way or the other really, because I've always voted for the person and not, you know, a certain party or whatever. But it's like, look how easy it is to be persuaded that this is right, that this is right and they're wrong. And you know, so it is kind of a scary thing because, you know, it's going to happen again. You know, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
God forbid it ever happens again. But like something where somebody comes to power like that. And I mean,
well, I've always been a relationship person and, you know, seeing how relationships exist and how they can, you know, impact what people say and what people do and what they believe. And, you know, that aspect has always just, you know, really intrigued me. Yeah. So,
I think my fly on the wall moment, I would like to be a fly on the wall, when, or just any moment that Mozart was alive.
Okay. Yeah.
And just to see his process of him writing something.
Yeah. Like, that's good.
Just pick anything. I just want to be there for one moment and just see, just to experience him. You hear all these stories about him and everything you read about him in the pop culture movie Amadeus, you know, I just kind of want to see what he was like and what, how he's able to do what he did.
Yeah.
Well, in that aspect too, like even Bach, when he was, you know, defining the musical system that we use today. Yeah. I'd like to see some of that stuff too.
Yeah.
How did you develop that, you know? How did we go to
what? No, I got something else.
5 lines.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many answers to this question that I have in my brain right now. I would like to be there. This is kind of morbid like yours, I guess, but like Anne Boleyn.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would just like to be there to experience, because I knew that like she meant a lot to the people, you know, and had a big following and everything. And, that would have been really kind of a lame thing that happened there. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like to experience what everybody was going through. The
dynamic was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It is. It's a deep question.
Thank you. It's definitely a good conversation starter.
Yeah. But it makes you survey yourself as a person.
Yeah.
In essence.
I keep thinking of all these like historical moments that are like war related or death related.
Yeah, because it kind of, they're just so like, well, they're huge events.
Yeah.
But my answer, and I think I hope you'll find it curious, but my answer is I want to see how the pyramids were constructed.
That was one of my thoughts too.
Or Stonehenge, because
Stonehenge.
I know there's like in history, there's
Easter Island.
Yes, there's so many rise and falls of empires and things like that. So, I don't know where you guys like, I don't know what you believe as far as like the timeline, how far back we go and stuff. But
back
it's
to the beginning.
Okay, it's not like
whenever that was.
It's not so far off to believe that there could have been, a very high functioning empire that was around that when the pyramids were created. Because what other explanation is there besides aliens? Which that's not so far off either. Because think about like how huge the space is. Like it's hard to think that there isn't something else out there. But how? And there's no evidence of an empire that would have led to the construction of the pyramids. So how? There's just
we don't even know. I mean, I don't even think with our technology today we could build the pyramids.
And like when you look at the artifacts and things that have been discovered, they all point towards some sort of higher being.
Right.
Like, is it God, or is it source, like the sun,
aliens,
or is it aliens? Yeah. Because they had to have had some sort of higher being guidance to create the pyramids.
Right. I mean, even with all of the cranes and stuff that we have today, as heavy as each of those blocks are, I don't know.
And there's like so much science behind them too, behind the construction. Like they're perfect.
Right.
They're
I'm going to
perfect.
butcher this name, but you brought up the pyramids, and I
just use Pig Latin, and then we won't know.
It's going to sound like that when I say it. But they found a old city in Peru, and they actually think that it predates the pyramids and some of these Incan cultures and Mayan culture. Because for the longest time they thought, like in Central America, like the Incans and the Mayas, were some of the oldest civilizations. But this is, I want to say it was like Chauvin, and the city is Carl Supe or something like that. But when I was reading about it, they found this city, and the way that they constructed the city, like some of those techniques they think were utilized by those people that built the pyramids to be able to do that. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
In Peru, of all places.
Right.
Yeah.
South America.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, it's like it's not essentially
geography for you.
Well, I always struggled
Did you take AP Geography?
No, I always struggled when they were doing "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego," and
I love that. Did you ever
the
play
South
the game?
the South American capitals? I was like, oh, forget it, I wouldn't win that one. Do you even know what we're talking about?
No.
It was a game show that was on TV. It was on PBS.
Where in the
What is
World's
it?
Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Where's Waldo, but Where's Carmen?
It was
Sandiego?
a kids game show thing, and one of the final things was they had like these.
They had TV when you guys were kids?
Yeah.
That's not as good as our old.
It wasn't as good as the old one, but
That's okay.
anyway, but yeah, they would. The final thing was they had to get so many capitals right on this continent, and they had these little poles that lit up or whatever, and they had to go stick it in that country, and so they'd say like so and so, and they'd have to run over there and go do that. Had a cute little, a good little catchy
Look to it.
song.
South American capital? Is that common knowledge? Because I
mean, these kids, some of
certainly
these kids
don't know.
were really good.
They
at
were
it.
on it.
They'd have like
But that's where
African
your
countries
obsession
in
with
Europe and-
what was that Mexican restaurant you really liked?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know what
Ruby's?
I'm talking about. No,
La Finca?
not La Finca.
Ponchos?
No. Yeah, Ponchos. Raise the flag. Did you get that from Carmen Sandiego?
No, I didn't.
Raise
What are
the
you talking
flag.
about?
Raise the flag.
You're ready for a little more Ponchos Mexican buffet? Yeah, Ponchos. If you're listening to this,
With your
I don't
one
have
branch
much.
that's open in Mesquite.
They have more branches open. There's 3.
Is there 3? I
Yeah,
thought
there's one in
I thought it was
Arlington on Green Oaks, South Green Oaks Boulevard.
Oh,
And
I thought they shut that one down.
no, that's the one by Six Flags.
What are you
they
trying to
shut
reach
down.
for over here?
I was trying to do this. Ponchos, if you're
I am
listening,
once again asking for your financial support.
yeah, it's pretty
Say
sad
some
that
thanks.
I think let's give it a moment of silence for the for Ponchos.
The last
and
3
what they
Ponchos.
used to wear.
Have you eaten
Okay.
at Ponchos?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
Okay,
Can't be
sorry.
talking
We're
during a
being-
moment of
We're being
silence.
disrespectful.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Impossible.
I thought we were taking a moment
Do
of
you get
silence.
that? No, but you get it though.
No, I didn't.
Because there was like one moment where something sad happened on TV, and then like they went to commercial, and the first one that popped up was the Burger King.
Classic. Classic.
And it's like, today the
It'll
Queen
really lighten the mood.
the Queen died, and we'd like to remember her. They go to commercial. Whopper, Whopper Junior.
That's funny.
All right, well, Kaylen, it's come to that time where we ask our guests the same question, and you've listened to a lot of our podcasts, so you already know this question is coming.
Yeah.
Before we ask it, have you enjoyed your time today?
Yes, I have thoroughly enjoyed.
On the porch?
It's been perfectly tolerable, actually.
That's good, because I was a little worried about the weather today, y'all. It's a little chilly outside.
Yeah, a little cold front came through, and so it's kind of cold on the porch.
Yeah, so.
But the sun's out,
and it's warming. You know, the radiation of the sun.
Warming our hearts.
Well, your chair was probably a little warm because, I mean, the metal chairs being out on the porch in the sun kind of radiate heat.
Yes.
You're right. Sorry that's not the rocking chair.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll manage.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, budget cuts.
Anyway, go ahead.
And we are looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor our podcast, email us at sapspodcast@gmail.com.
You know who would be able to donate some rocking chairs to us?
Who?
Cracker
Barrel. You're right.
Cracker
We
Barrel.
should do an episode on that. Yeah. Question we always ask our listeners is describe your perfect Sunday afternoon.
My perfect Sunday afternoon. Okay.
Not what your actual current Sunday afternoon is. That may be your perfect Sunday afternoon.
Your perfect Sunday afternoon.
Perfect Sunday
Maybe,
afternoon.
just an example, like if you're binge watching Survivor. I mean, that could be a thing. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm gonna wake up at like 8:30, sleep in a little bit because it's my last day before I have to go back to work, and then I'm gonna make breakfast. I've been doing this like breakfast taco thing where I make 2 fried eggs with honey and hot sauce. Don't knock it until you try it. It's actually very good.
I mean, the hot sauce, honey. Okay.
No, it's a good combination. Trust me.
It's like honey chipotle chicken crispers.
Yeah,
I get you.
So a nice, just hearty breakfast. And then I'm going to go play Frisbee outside because the weather's nice, of course, on my perfect Sunday. It's like 75 degrees and the sun's out. And then I'm going to listen to the podcast.
Okay.
And prepare for my next day or next week of work.
There you go.
Yeah. Sounds like a relaxing day.
Yeah, I think
up
so
until getting ready for your work week.
No, I think I do some positive thinking. I do some positive affirmations because we don't think negatively in the Rhodes household. So
that's good.
That's a good thing.
That is a really good positive thing. Yeah. I love it.
Thanks.
I like that your Sunday afternoon actually involves outdoors too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Not like these kids these days.
No, because mine would be like watching the Cowboys win the Super Bowl or something.
Playing Fortnite.
Or playing Fortnite. I would never play Fortnite.
That's your perfect Sunday, watching the Cowboys win.
No, I don't know what mine is. We'll get there in like season 2 of this podcast.
We still haven't talked about our perfect Sunday afternoon.
We haven't. We're not.
Well, you just got to keep the people waiting.
Well, I tell you what. The next time that we don't have a guest and it's just you and me, we'll talk about our. Yeah,
okay, that's fine.
That. I can't wait.
But yeah, we're really glad that you were able to come on the podcast with us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. Had a good time.
You'll have to let Quebeca Renz know it's not that bad.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that.
Well, thanks for coming out this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you were able to come out and join us today. Yes. So would you join us again?
Yes, I absolutely would.
I love it. So
that's awesome because the conversation's been great. Hopefully the chair's been comfortable.
Dinner was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
That was such a good choice. We had tacos tonight.
We did.
I had a quesadilla
today, this afternoon. Anyway,
I didn't even notice you had a quesadilla. I thought you had tacos like the rest of us.
It was the first time I got the quesadilla from there, and
would you get it again?
Yeah, I would. I feel like it was more food for the same price.
Yeah. Ruby's Mexican food, and Tyler, if you're listening,
once again asking for your financial support.
You can email us.
So if you want to support this podcast, sapspodcast@gmail.com.
We'll advertise for free.
Well, I guess it's not free. Yeah.
Well, Kaylen, thanks again for coming out.
Yes, thanks for having me.
As the sun sets on another Sunday afternoon porch sitting, we appreciate you sharing in this laid-back journey with us.
Until next time, stay relaxed and enjoy the simple moments.